Yeah. Anyway, um, okay, just notify me if you can't hear me or anything. So yeah, I did an aMSa Wizzrobe analysis, and it was interesting. I think the set has got a lot of interesting stuff, like just to showcase some of what Yoshi is capable of. But it was a long video, so I think I'm going to do a more condensed version, just focusing on some specific aspects of Yoshi or the matchup. And yeah, keep it much shorter than the 2-hour analysis vid I did. Just, yeah, a little half-hour thing, hopefully. And I'll divide that into sections. Like, I think I'll start with shield pressure. Yeah, because people tend to say that Yoshi's shield pressure is quite linear, and, well, you'll see in this set that it's rather not. So yeah, shield pressure, dealing with nair, edge guards, dealing with down throw, throw follow-ups from Wizzrobe, some miscellaneous stuff, and defense as well, like what Yoshi privilege, in a way. Defensive stuff that only Yoshi can do, and that is really strong. Okay, so I guess I'll start with shield pressure, right? If there are no issues with the sound. So yeah, well, Wizzrobe has got really strong grab game, and when in shield he has a very special way of mashing grab. He mashes Z and A, I think, while holding R, which makes him able to get multiple grab inputs ASAP. So having imperfect shield pressure against him, or greedy shield pressure, is going to get you grabbed. So let's see how aMSa works around that. And I mean, it is something that Wizzy still made. It worked quite well for him. Let's see. Okay, here's one example. Yoshi's got a pretty long grab box. I mean, a pretty long hurt box, so he can be grabbed in. And Falcon's got a good reverse grab box, so he can get grabbed in unexpected spots, perhaps. See? Boom. Well, this one wasn't. He did overshoot slightly too much. But yeah, like, there's some shield options aMSa doesn't do, and I'll talk about them later, but yeah. Landing animation of nair got grabbed here. So that's one such example. However, Yoshi has some good shield pressure, and some well-spaced down tilts, such as what we see here. Let's see. This down tilt here can't get grabbed. The head, if you look at it, the head here, Yoshi's crouching, and only the top part of his head can be grabbed by Falcon's standing grab here. And he's well spaced enough that it can't happen. So there is stuff like that that can work for Yoshi, and Yoshi can also buffer parry if he misspaces a down tilt. It's not guaranteed to dodge the grab, but if the grab is too slow, it will parry the grab. And we do see grab parries later on, such as, for instance, I'll just show a couple. I think there's one around here. Yep, that's a parried grab, and this happens multiple times in the set. But this one is actually as shield pressure. We'll see parries in other spots, which are very interesting. I think he grabs one right afterwards. I mean, he parries another one right afterwards. Up air. This one gets grabbed. Okay, now this is another situation. Let's see. Yeah, okay. That was a tech roll into parry. I'll talk more about those later. Yeah, you're right. It's a 2-frame window to I think, yeah, to get the grab before the buffered parry after a down tilt on shield. Okay. Yeah, so right afterwards we see a tech roll into parry, which is Yoshi privilege. I'll go back on that later. I mean, it wasn't a tech roll, so it was a getup roll. But yeah, that's some stuff Yoshi also has as defense. Anyway, back to shield pressure. Now Yoshi's jab, he has the usual jab mix-ups you would expect from... I mean, he has similar jab mix-ups to what you'd expect from Luigi, perhaps, or Samus, except his... yeah, I think we can see it here. Wizzy gets a grab off of the jabs. The jab shield pressure isn't that safe, and you can ASDI down jab 1, and you can see Wizzy trying to grab, and then just getting another grab. And aMSa crouched, I think, or jump squatted, but still got grabbed. If Wizzy'd been fast on the mash, I think he could have grabbed him even earlier. And yeah, jab pressure, it's good if you have the mix-ups, and we saw earlier aMSa do a jab down tilt. But Yoshi can also jab 1 into parry, and we can, or at higher percents, like about 70-ish, I think, 75. Jab 2 will start sending into tumble, so it can't be ASDI down anymore. So it becomes a more interesting tool at that percent, even versus people like Wizzy who might mash grab in that way. But yeah, like jab mix-ups. Yoshi players tend to double jab too much on shield when there's other mix-ups available. So that's just something worth mentioning. Although yeah, it should still be used with caution, because a very grab-heavy falcon such as Wizzy will be able to deal with it. Let's see, there's something else around here, I think. Another instance of jab getting grabbed, perhaps? No, wrong timestamp. Slightly earlier then. There's another one. Just jab 2 got shielded, grabbed. I think aMSa got away with a few here and there, but depending on the opponent and matchup, you might want to avoid doing those jabs too much. Anyway, yeah. So another thing which I think Yoshi players tend to discuss a bit is the use of down air on shield as shield pressure. I think it can be interesting in some spots. I think it might not be ideal though. Like if you look at here, you can see Wizzrobe shield yanging completely away, and aMSa having to adjust the spacing, which is pretty hard to do with all the hit lag you have with the down air. So yeah, Wizzy just completely avoids the punish, and then aMSa immediately goes into shield because he knows he didn't get the shield stab or edge cancel he wanted. So yeah, against a really good player, shield DI is something which is going to mitigate the effectiveness of down air as a shield pressure tool in a lot of situations. I also think it could be SDI'd better when on hit, but that's something else. Yeah, as you're saying, Rev, jab 1 is -11 on shield, and jab 2 is -12, so they're inherently unsafe. But the mix-ups you get the same way, yeah, Falcon does with Gentleman, you know, like jab 1 into grab, or jab, and then, yeah, triple jab and cancel do the Gentleman stuff, yeah? Well, Yoshi can jab 1 and then parry, so that kind of mix-up, since jab 1 into jab 2 is a true combo. And yeah, space jabs are okay in some matchups. So yeah, that was something else I wanted to mention about shield. What else is there? I think we have an instance of down tilt getting grabbed, even though aMSa probably buffered the parry. Looks like I have the wrong timestamp. I did do this a bit quickly. Never mind. Let's see. There's something really interesting though. I didn't know about that until I analysed the set. Let's see. Up airs through, and then up airs again, and then he dodges the grab with down tilt. Looks like Yoshi has more moves than we thought that go into the z-axis. Like, I just saw a post on one of the discords that said that Yoshi, when starting his F-tilt, his head goes into the z-axis, and it can avoid something like a Marth Fair or something, like the jump squat animation we saw, or the image we saw where he avoids it with jump squat. So yeah, apparently down tilt works too. I just want the frame right before, because we can see him just going, his head going completely into the background. There you go. That frame there. I think very few characters can actually grab him in that frame. Yeah, so that's another thing to consider about Yoshi's shield pressure. He can do things like that, and there's more to come. Yeah, so yeah, that was interesting. Good to know, anyway. So yeah, I guess that being said, it's not something that can be really relied on. It's just some get out of jail free card that's sometimes will save us. Let's see, where was it? Somewhere around here? I think he outspaces a shield grab here? Yeah. It was a bit of a late one, but you can see it here, like, at that percent, getting nared was something Wizzy wanted, because he could ASDI it down, and can do that until about 23%, I think, the strong nair. Except that Yoshi's drift is good enough to, and his landing animation is great too, to avoid yeah, to outspace the grab. His shuffle is also really long, so that's, he can also do an early nair on shield and outspace most moves that try and hit him. Like, there's another point in the set where Wizzy does a back air out of shield, but aMSa actually crosses up enough to avoid it. Did I forget something here? Oh, there's something here too. Oops. I think... High nair on shield, but... So this is something that's known, but the landing animation of nair dodged the grab. This works against several high grabs, such as Peach, Ganon, Falcon, Marth to some extent, not perfectly though. So yeah, that animation, the jump squat animation, and the normal landing animation are all animations that are really hard to grab for some characters, or impossible in some cases. And the crouch is already, like, it already requires you to aim at Yoshi's head for in Peach's case. And Yoshi can just parry right afterwards, so there's many spots where you actually can't grab Yoshi, or can't easily grab Yoshi, depending on what character you play. So yeah, that's one of Yoshi's strengths in terms of shield pressure. And in fact, there's even more to it than that, because I've mentioned some stuff, but there's also, like, Yoshi can do an aerial, poorly spaced aerial, into an F smash, since the F smash pullback will often, I mean, it's so good that he will dodge undershot moves, and a grab that just spaces for his head will whiff. So Yoshi can F smash out of shield options. He can also parry them, which is something I'm surprised I don't really see aMSa do. I think he may occasionally do it, but not much. I think up as -2 on shield, not -1. Rev. Or is that double jump cancelled up there? Yeah, so there's parry, and also, yeah, Yoshi can, this is something that's on aMSa's YouTube channel, Yoshi can miss his L cancel on the nair, and maybe on other aerials too, I don't know, like down air perhaps? And he can do so on the nair, and we haven't seen any of that here either. Just miss the L cancel, do pulley spaced nair, miss the L cancel, let Wizzy whiff his grab and down smash him, or F tilt him, or whatever, because it'll dodge the grab. So, yeah, I think a grab-heavy game, Yoshi has ways to deal with it which can make it pretty risky. At least for Falcon. For a few other characters too. Not for everyone. But the parry, it works against everyone, and the F-smash works against pretty much everyone. So, yeah, these are things to bear in mind when playing Yoshi or playing against Yoshi. And there's still more shield pressure stuff I've probably forgotten to mention, and that may or may not be showcased in this set. But yeah, that was something I wanted to talk about, because it's not intuitive, and people generally tend to reduce Yoshi's shield pressure to double jump cancel nair and shield, which is one of his tools, but it's far from being the only one, and he does have unique options here. So yeah, that's one thing I wanted to talk about, so people can understand it more, and so that Yoshi players can use it more, because, well, very few use even a quarter of the tools we see here. I'm exaggerating, but like, I can think of a couple of good Yoshi players that spot dodge a bit too much on people's shields. Okay, now, next section, dealing with Falcon's nair. I remember seeing a Twitter post by, was it Tafokins or was it Rishi, saying that, oh, that matchup looks so bad for Yoshi. He can only ASDI down the second hit of nair until 27% or so. That's so bad. Well, it is true he can only do that until 27%, but he has other unique ways of dealing with nair. Let me see. There should be one here. Gets hit by the first nair. Yeah. Was that second hit? First hit? No, that wasn't the timestamp I wanted, I think. Never mind. There should be another one kicking around somewhere. Around here, I think. What's he doing? Okay. Looks so goofy in slow-mo. Was it here? I hope it was here. Nope, looks like I got some timestamps wrong. Let me see. Oh, it's supposed to be here. Okay. Nope, never mind. Because yeah, I wanted to showcase parrying either the first hit of nair or the second hit of nair. Oh well, never mind. Oh, there we go, it was right here. Yeah, so Yoshi is... I'm not sure, I can't remember if he can F-tilt after parrying, after ASDIing down the first hit. Like, just F-tilt the Falcon on outright. I'm not sure he can, since the second hit comes out pretty quick. But he can parry and counter hit if he wants to. Because, yeah, he can parry the first, or he can ASDI down the first hit and parry the second. which is pretty hard to do and requires practice, but I believe it can be done on reaction. So yeah, lots of good stuff, which is pretty Yoshi exclusive. Now, a really well spaced second hit of Nair will be safe on parry, more or less, since Yoshi has to move forwards to punish the well-spaced Nair. So even with the frame advantage he gets off of parry, he can't quite hit Falcon before Falcon shields. So there are ways for Falcon to more or less work around Yoshi's parry, but it's pretty hard for him as well. So yeah, that's one way of dealing with Nair when you're on the ground. What about if you're in the air? Let's see, 5 or 8, a bit earlier, somewhere around here. Okay. Well, this was an instance of Yoshi tanking a hit at 130%. He didn't get anything off of it, but he did get frame advantage, in fact, since the Nair overcame the armor, but Yoshi took so little knockback out of it, because he only takes the difference in knockback, that, yeah, that just means he got almost no knockback, landed normally, and retained frame advantage. So this means you can actually tank the second hit of Nair until about 85–90%, somewhere around that. And even beyond that, as long as you're not sent into tumble, or close to that percent, which is a significant amount later, I can't remember, it's somewhere in the 160s, maybe? No, don't quote me on that. But after that, Yoshi can take the hit, lose armor, and counter hit, which is something you can do in many situations, but that people don't tend to notice. So that is another way of dealing with Nair. And yeah, I think we can see him tank it, just completely tank it a bit further on, somewhere around here maybe. Oops, no, that was a stomp. Oh, there we go. Just tanks the second hit at 45% or so, 40%, and then whacks Falcon out of it. I wouldn't recommend doing that at low percent, when Falcon's at low percent, because he'll land before you and might be able to grab you, depending on how you spaced it. But it's a very good tool, and it's a Yoshi exclusive one as well. So yeah, unlike what Tafukins was saying, or something, Yoshi does not suck versus Falcon Nair. Like, he has really unique and pretty good options against it. Okay, I have a couple more timestamps here. It's probably more the same, but I'll just check. Oh, stomp, parried. What is this? No, this isn't it, is it? Probably an incorrect timestamp. Okay, never mind. It's just a parrying a stomp, which is... oops. Around here, maybe? Let's see. Oh, there we go. He tanked another one here. Didn't get anything off of it, but does cross up enough that Falcon can't do much. And then lands a couple of jabs, and at that percent, I think Wizzy might have been shield-yang away. Yeah, the grab whiffs. So that was another interesting bit of shield pressure. And no, Rev, you can ASDI down first hit of Nair forever, because it's a set knockback move, which is what makes it amazing at connecting into the second hit, or sometimes just into other moves. At any percent, yeah. Yeah, so that was dealing with Nair. I'm sure I forgot some stuff there too. Oh well. Okay, let's move on to edge guarding. This isn't really like, I think to people who say that Wizzy doesn't know how to play against Yoshi or whatever, and I think he prepared for against aMSa. He essentially labbed a lot of stuff, and yeah. The thing is, like, aMSa prepared against with Gucci too, but I don't think he's that experienced in dealing with Falcon overall. I don't think he was great at the matchup a couple of months ago. I think he made some great strides in the matchup now, but that he could still push it a lot further. Case in point, there's one here. He flubbed a huge amount of edge guards in this set, and a lot of them he could have just grabbed ledge or down smashed with better spacing. He doesn't grab ledge much against Falcon, which is, and I think the only time he did it, he hit him with a fair 150, which led him to nothing. Was it here? Can't remember. Oh, there you go. Like, yeah. He had no reason to jump here, for instance. Why did he jump? He was expecting a high up B, which he could have covered later, I think. And then, yeah, tech. I don't have all the answers against Falcon, but dealing with the tech is something we should get better at. Okay. Miss space down smash. What else is there? He could have dash attacked here because Falcon was high up. He could also have done a better down smash, obviously, but dash attack was fine here. There was very little risk of it getting teched because it hits pretty far beyond the ledge, and Wizzy's fade back there wasn't great. 9:15. There's a dash attack that did get teched though, and you had no reason to dash dance there. Why dash dance? You're not making anything ambiguous. You're just indicating that you're not going to toss an egg, I think. aMSa is also guilty of dash dancing all over the place when edge guarding, and I don't think it's often that good an answer. Sometimes it can be interesting, I think, but generally not that much. That's a late down tilt. He could have just grabbed ledge there. I guess sometimes he's afraid of getting hit by an up air or weak knee, but when you're at 0%, like in other situations he was at really low percent and there was no risk of getting a stage spike, and then Yoshi could just come back with only risking some damage. So yeah, there's another tech which is a late. You could have just grabbed ledge there as well. I think he was waiting too far beyond the ledge. On FD there's no reason to wait that far beyond the ledge. There's no risks of edge cancels, of big fade backs from that spacing. Yeah. 14 minutes in. What's that? First hit of Nair is broken. Oh, there's a parry. Okay, that was a good edge guard though. I do want to showcase a couple of good edge guards. Now, why did he dash away and then dash back in before dash attacking instead of just dash in, dash attack? Well, the reason is with the timing. If he'd done an earlier dash attack, like right now, he would have hit with a later part of dash attack, and the hitbox would probably have reversed, which means Falcon would have been sent over there, right back on stage, and Yoshi wouldn't be in the greatest spot. So dash away and then dash back in ensures that you hit with the hitbox doesn't reverse. F tilt after CC on first hit Nair, but it's frame perfect. Parry aerial is way easier. Yeah, I expect so. But yeah, that was a good edge guard by aMSa. And then, yeah, much more straightforward. And that was a good ledge grab. Good ledge grab. Okay, I think there's a couple of other good ones somewhere. That one here was good. Let's see. Yeah. Wizzy couldn't fade back enough here to outspace the nair, and I'm not sure he could do so and grab ledge afterwards. So that was a good one. Let's watch that again. I actually think Wizzy should have gone for more high up Bs in this set, because you can see him often going to ledge, and even though he can tech extremely well, and aMSa didn't deal with the tech threat very well, when you're sent high up, you shouldn't go for ledge or fade back to ledge too much. You should just often do a high up B, and Yoshi has a harder time than people might expect, I believe anyway, covering fade backs and edge cancels. I think S2J does a lot more high up Bs, so that's just something worth thinking about, perhaps. Is there another good edge guard somewhere? Somewhere? No? Oh, there we go. Nope. No, that was another flubbed one. Yeah, so yeah, I think aMSa's edge guarding could have made a couple of the games here a lot less stressful to watch. Especially as he got hugged at like 150% once, I think. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Just a couple of thoughts on edge guarding. Okay, down throw. Now, something Sechi labbed, so shoutouts to Sechi for that, is that Falcon has no follow-ups out of down throw on Yoshi. No true follow-ups, anyway. Yoshi can DI in a very specific way, and he will be able to act before hitting the ground, which gives some interesting stuff, interesting mix-ups. Jump away, so that means you can also wave land away. Oh yeah, I'd better mention that. Yeah, you said you can up smash Falcon's nair and win straight up. Yeah. Depending on spacing, that can be a good move to use. Not often, though. It's not often the Falcons do high enough nair that can be up smashed like that. Well, yeah, it's intangible head, huge disjoint. So yeah, we saw here aMSa jump away from the down throw. Let me see, there was some on the FD game around here. Yeah. Another down throw, which gets up air this time. Double jump up air. I don't know what Wizzy was going for. And there's another one, up air again. And that starts a big streak, so big reversal. So yeah, I think that's also something that is detrimental to a grab heavy game. I can't remember what the DI is exactly. I think it's slightly up and away, and then it changes depending on percent. Or is it slightly down and away? I can't remember. You can check it on iNeedData, I think. It's something worth practicing anyway. Like the parry on the nairs, or the tanking through the first hit of nair and hitting before the second one comes out. That kind of stuff. Worth practicing against Falcon. Parrying stomp on reaction too, maybe. And cross-ups on shield. Important stuff. Because, yeah, Falcon can grab Yoshi in spots you wouldn't expect if you... because of his long hurt box. So you need these tools. The tools that force the whiff. Okay, I think there's more here. 925. No? Oh, there we go. Waveland back. Wizzy does adjust a little in during that set, because I think... here, maybe? Oh, no, that's an auto-cancel there, I think. Yeah, looks like it. So yeah, Yoshi is actionable extremely fast out of that. Possibly fast enough to land and parry a Falcon regrab attempt, or something like that. So definitely something worth practicing. It helped aMSa a lot here. What did Wizzy do? Because you get different mix-ups out of it. Let's see, I think the last stock had a stomp somewhere. There you go. Grab, down throw, stomps, and aMSa cancelled. He cancelled armor, so he did another auto-cancelled death, I think, but got hit right beforehand. So yeah, different mix-up from Wizzy, and I think he does it another time. It worked out for him. It wasn't true. There we go. aMSa jumps away, wave lands on plat, gets hit by the stomp. So as you can see, they're not true follow-ups Falcon can get, they're just mix-ups. And yeah, going in for the more standard stuff you would get against other characters is very risky. And until 30% or 37%, depending on the port, if I remember correctly what set she labbed, uthrow does not have true follow-ups until those percents. So yeah, Falcon's grab game and grab follow-ups are, compared to other characters, they're pretty mitigated against Yoshi. So that is one thing Yoshi has that other characters do not. It's ways to deal with Falcon's unique ways to deal with Falcon's grab. Falcon has fewer punishes on Yoshi off of grab, and then the down throw is a really risky. Follow-ups off of down throw are risky for Falcon. I think other characters they aren't always true follow-ups against them, or the pseudo true maybe, like Samus fully AOA, or maybe she gets a B. I can't remember. Maybe. Yeah, DK is a tech chase. Well, so yeah, I think maybe Yoshi's in a pretty unique spot there. Now, I mentioned upthrow. Up and away, you say. Up and away DI. Until like 50, and then the higher the percent, the lower you need to DI. Okay. Yeah. So that's a DI up and away, you say. Slightly up and away. Okay. I can't remember offhand because I haven't practiced that yet. Okay, let's see. Off of upthrow, Falcon gets up airs, and he has a couple of follow-ups on Yoshi, but Wizzy actually landed a few upthrow knees here, which I thought was worth mentioning too, because aMSa might hold off on the double jump for a while, or I don't know. I think he also goes for some mix-ups here because he knows if Wizzy's slightly slow, he can tank the up air. Or sometimes he just wants to use the jump later on. So going for a knee from time to time can be a thing. I think it can be worth it for Falcon. Like he got a kill on aMSa at 99. That was quite unexpected. Yoshi can probably double jump and then air dodge down if the knee is slightly slow though. I mean, it's just a different set of mix-ups than against other characters, basically. And I don't fully know all the possible subtleties involved. I think there's another attempt here. Is there? Yeah. But he only gets a weak knee off of that one. Weak knee up air. And Yoshi's hitstun animations are a bit odd, so you can't always be sure to land a knee afterwards, I believe, depending on DI. And another throw knee landed around here. Except aMSa tanked that one, if I remember correctly. No, he didn't. Oh, just straight up kneed him. I think maybe we could. I believe aMSa prepares DI for the up air and then reacts to the knee startup, which is really hard to do. I've heard that. I'm not 100% sure he does, but it could be something worth thinking about for Yoshi players too. it requires a really good reaction time and really fast hands, if it indeed is what aMSa does. Okay, so that was upthrow knee. Let me see. Other sections I have. Oh yeah, defensive stuff. Yoshi privilege. Let's see, I've got a couple of random things, and then there's more parry stuff. So yeah, Yoshi privilege. There should be something around here. Was it here? I can't remember. Nope, a bit earlier, I guess. Yeah. Boom, get up attack that gets tanked into a punish. Tanking get up attacks is one of Yoshi's privileges, although on the ground it's actually really risky, because if you get hit by the second hit without armor, the set knockback might send you off stage and you could die to it. So armoring through them by rising up is a lot safer, since you're then above the opponent and have a little more time to... It's a lot easier to time the punish, shall I say. Well, it is Yoshi privilege, it's just people don't think of it that way. And there's a lot more to come, don't worry about that. And yeah, people talk about Fox privilege, Samus privilege when she air dodges off stage and then just gets the grapple out or whatever. A lot of characters have... I mean, more characters than you think have spots where they have unique ways to deal with something that the rest of the cast don't. Such as, yeah, Pikachu, when he's tech chased by, say, Sheik, or Falcon, or Marth, he can jump. So if they're frame late, he can enter jump squat and you'll dodge the grab. That's Pikachu and Kirby privilege right there. Yeah, what else was there? Okay, I'll talk about that later. A couple of... there was in the Yoshi privilege section, so I guess I should carry on that. Oh, this is something I also didn't realise could happen until I watched that set. This interaction here, I think I'll have to go through it again. That was a parry push-off. So what happened... Oh yeah, Pika taken place, that's Pika privilege, yeah. Pikachu and Pichu. What happens here is that... okay, aMSa gets grabbed after shield releasing against a stomp, which is actually... I think shield release is safe against stomp. Parry shield release anyway. Well no, even shield release is safe against stomp. I think it's got 15 frames of L cancel. Yeah, if you're perfect it is. It's better to parry it though. So, yeah. aMSa's on the ground, knocked down. Tech rolls away. Getup rolls away, sorry. Parries the grab. This is like a frame or two off at most. So he just buffered parry, and then Falcon pushes him off, so he grabs ledge. Boom! Isn't that great? That's amazing. Buffering parry after off of getup is a bit the same. It's like Spacey's getup shine, wake up shine. It's the same kind of reversal or defensive option, or get off me option that can just reverse a bad situation and keep your opponent honest if they're a bit slow. And Yoshi gets the push off of this. I think we see this at another point in the actual set, somewhere around here maybe. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, parry push off. That sounds sounds pretty funny. Ooh. Oh yeah, that was a stored power shield. I'll talk about those later. That must have been a bit earlier then. Oh no, it's here. Yoshi is knocked down. Get up roll. Parry. This was also frame perfect. So Wizzy was slightly off. He might not be used to Yoshi's get up roll animations, or he might just be ever so slightly off at times. And since most characters don't have a frame 1 option, they have a frame 2 option with spot dodge to avoid the grab, he tends to grab them. But yeah, Yoshi parries and gets pushed off. So yeah, and spot dodge wouldn't even be that great here, because it's the very beginning of the spot dodge versus the very beginning of the grab, so you get almost no frame advantage from it. But here Yoshi's just whatever. Okay, so that was one thing which I didn't know about at all. The push-off bit, I mean, not the parry in itself. And here's something else. Parry into roll. I have no idea if aMSa wanted to roll there at first, or if he just went into shield and then waited slightly and then rolled. But essentially, it's a better roll in some ways. Because a roll here, any other character, if they roll, or if they shield, they're not in the same spot as Yoshi is. They have more of a frame disadvantage. Like, if Yoshi parries, he's got a huge frame advantage, which means he gets a big start on his roll, and whereas other characters are just in shield, which may or may not be good for them. I guess they do have out of shield options though, more out of shield options. But when talking about roll itself, Yoshi can delay the vulnerability startup on his roll with a parry, which means that where other characters' instant rolls would have gotten hit, Yoshi can parry at only a few frame disadvantage cost, potentially, and even then he might get more frame advantage out of it, or less frame disadvantage rather. And yeah, so sometimes, and yeah, then afterwards his roll is also different to react to. It's a different animation, it's more ambiguous, it goes into the z-axis, his hurt box is smaller, so you can't always hit him during the vulnerability frames, not with every move, and not at every spacing, so it's harder to punish for some characters. Like, I'm not sure many characters can punish that on reaction. Oh, Wizzy spot dodged though, so he was very late on the punish attempt. The aMSa had quite a few frames. At the very least, where compared to other characters' instant rolls, Yoshi has this parry frame window he can insert right at the beginning. This is also true for spot dodge, or well, in many other situations. It's just worth thinking about. Maybe he wanted to parry wave dash, you say? You think parry wave dash is just straight better than parry roll? Well, if you're not sure whether you got hit, or which way the move sends you, or if you just wanted to roll and just forgot to buffer it, or just happened to get a parry, yeah, like you just randomly get a parry and extra frame, I mean, a few more frames leniency out of it, so it's just a random benefit you can get in this situation. Oh. Maybe. Yeah, if you're unsure of when they're going to hit, or perhaps, yeah, and that you might be able to get away with roll or spot dodge, then yeah, parry roll, parry spot dodge. It's also different timing. It throws off timing slightly. There's just a lot to it. So yeah, and it does save aMSa's skin in a couple of situations. I think there's another one here. that's empty parry there, and then there's another parry, I think, here. Or is there? Oh, it's here, I think. Yeah, parry and then roll. Parry and then roll. And the jab actually whiffed. I think it hit during the startup of the roll, but it didn't touch Yoshi's hurt box. So, yeah, I mean, it's still something you can punish, but if a Yoshi player uses his out of shield options properly, and that includes shield release and spot dodge, which is something you don't see aMSa do much of, you make the reaction window for the roll harder, and it's already slightly different than most other characters. Parry roll master. Yeah. Let's see, it wasn't there, was it? Nah. Oh, it was, yeah, boom, parry roll. This one gets punished though, I think. Yeah, aMSa could have maybe light shielded instead, or I think he had 2 frames, so he could have parried it. Yeah, you've got to remember, if Yoshi can light shield if you try and hit him at the end, and he can also parry if he releases shield for 1 frame and then shields again. So hitting the end of the roll, I mean, being late on the roll punish is also, there's also risk involved, and this is something that's not very well developed on the Yoshi side. So if more Yoshi players started to parry at the end of their rolls, or spot dodges, or shield release, a lot of characters would find that, yeah, Yoshi shielding on the ground is a little bit trickier to handle than they thought. Too many Yoshi players just roll a panic roll when they're in shield, when there's other better mix-ups, or just more mix-ups. Okay, and yeah, I think we see shield release in a couple of spots. So I just mentioned that, so let's show it too. Shield release, but almost no spot dodges though, and spot dodge out of shield, spot dodge into parry, or spot dodge into parry is also a really good timing mix-up compared to shield release parry. So that's something that I wish I would see more of. Or shield release into jab 1, or whatever. Anyway, I think there's a shield release somewhere here. Let's see, what was the timestamp? There we go, F smash shield release. I don't know why Wizzy went for the F smash here. Maybe it was a knee he messed up, I don't know. Yeah, good smash DA on the jab. Or maybe just wanted the kill. That was just normal shield, it wasn't a parry. But Yoshi suffers no shield stun, so he's plus a huge amount here. So he can just shield release. And here I think aMSa whiffs the down smash because of Falcon's hurt box manipulation. Yeah. So he actually didn't get the punish. But the end of the set was, let's see, it's a bit further on. There you go, oops. Oh, that was a butt clencher, wasn't it? Enters shield. I think he might have parried it. I'm not sure. Right. Shield release. Down smash. End of the set. Whoever says Yoshi's shield on the ground sucks needs to check their facts. It sucks versus some moves, but against moves with a lot of shield stun and a lot of lag, it's his shield release, his punishes out of shield release are a lot faster than other characters, since he suffers no shield stun. Yep. Okay. Another thing I wanted to mention, and shoutouts to Taukan for that, because he's the one who understood the mechanics behind it. If you see, if you look here, aMSa spot dodges right as he lands on the platform. Right here. Why did he do that? He did it to store a power shield. If you go onto the Smashboards, the Yoshi sub forum, the some Yoshi information thread, page 8 or 9, or in one of the later posts. Maybe I'll try and link it in the description if I remember to. Yoshi can store power shields, and indeed, the second hit of Nair here is a power shield. And then Yoshi just gets off the platform and punishes Falcon off of it. So Yoshi can store power shields. It can be something to do between stocks. It can also be exploited very slightly, since power shield suffers more pushback. But yeah, I think aMSa does it here as well. Let's see. He did another interesting thing here, which was, I think he extended his ledge dash intangibility with the invincibility from parry. Yeah, I think that's what he did. So Wizzy tried catching the end of the ledge dash with an aerial, but aMSa just parried it. So yeah, Yoshi's ledge options don't have too much intangibility. His ledge dash and even his AI, his aerial interrupt only has about 8 frames if done perfectly, I think. But he can extend them with a parry. So yeah, gotta respect it. And then spot dodges again. Power shield. So that's just something, another aspect of Yoshi. Okay, a couple more things. We had getup roll into parry, and we also have tech roll into parry. Boom. Look at that, isn't that nice? Nice and juicy. Falcon doesn't know what's coming to him. Oh look, Yoshi's in. Yoshi has to tech. Let me cover everything. Whoop. Oh, but you're a frame late. I parry. You would have gotten shined by a spacey, I think. Or spot dodge would have worked there, but yeah, you can think of Yoshi's parry in some situations as a bit like Spacey's shine. It's just people don't tend to think about it, and they can't always recognize the animation. But it is something to beware if you're playing against a Yoshi player. So tech roll into parry is a thing, and we mentioned parry roll earlier, yeah, but I also hinted at roll into parry. There were only a couple of frames vulnerability there. And yeah, you can buffer parry too, which is great. You have to release shield in this very specific situation. You have to release the shield button, have 1 frame of vulnerability, I believe, so that you can enter the pre-shielding animation again, which is the parry window. But yeah, that's 1 frame of vulnerability, and then you parry. And then aMSa just knew. Wham! Got a punish out of it. And that's, yeah, Yoshi. Roll. 1 frame, parry. Oh, that was really good. I'm really glad to see Yoshi players, at least one Yoshi player, do that. But yeah, Yoshi can also buffer parry after many. As long as he's not in shield, he can buffer parry. He won't be able to jump out of it, but he will get the extra frame advantage from parry if you hit him during the parry. I think there's another roll into parry somewhere around here. Let's see. Is it here? I think it was here. Nope, maybe not. No, I guess not. F smash pullback. Hurtbox manipulation. Another aspect of melee which is not very much discussed, and which characters like Yoshi and Falcon get a lot of mileage out of. Or Pikachu. Yeah. So now I can't remember where the other timestamp is. Never mind. Alright, I think I'm almost done. There's a couple more important things to talk about. Oh yeah, option select SDI. This is pretty important, I think, as well. And I think it's not always applicable, but it's interesting. And it's a Yoshi specific thing, really. Okay. Yoshi double jumps and gets hit with a knee. Right? You can SDI if you lose armor. And aMSa SDI is slightly upwards, I think. And then fails to regrab ledge, because I think he was expecting to, but didn't realize he wasn't spaced well enough for it. But what if you get hit by weak knee instead? Armor doesn't get overcome in that percent. This is a percent range where you either get hit by weak knee or strong knee, and one of them is going to overcome armor, but not the other. I think I mentioned this in my post, but very briefly. So what you can do, while you're jumping, is SDI in preparation for the strong knee, and possibly even during hitlag, you might want to input an A move. I mean, press A or press R, because you can. Yeah, well, if you get hit by strong knee, you will SDI, and you might want to SDI down or behind Falcon, or down and behind Falcon, or slightly away if you want to air dodge right afterwards. There's many options, but I don't think we do it very well. We tend to just prepare for survival DI. So, but there's loads of other options for Yoshi, and I think here he gets hit by a late up air. So Yoshi could SDI to get hit by a later hitbox of the up air that was to cover the ledge. That is something which is worth exploring. Now, if Yoshi gets hit by strong knee, as I said, he can SDI and maybe get a V cancel with a bit of luck. Well, I don't know. There's a few things he can do. And if he gets hit by weak knee, he'll just eat it, and then if you press A, well, he'll counter hit. So you have this sort of option select between losing armor and not losing armor, which I think, I guess, I'm the first one to really talk about it. Yeah, so that's something which could really be developed on Yoshi's side. It's not always applicable. It's certain percent ranges. There's different, like Falcon could have done a weak back air or something. He could have maybe baited out an aerial. I don't know. But in this pure binary weak knee versus strong knee situation, it is perfectly applicable. You can't V-cancel in the air. Huh, that's news to me. aMSa talked about SDIing Fox Falco back air down, and in certain situations you can either land before them and down smash them, or nair. Yeah, after 75% you lose the armor, so you should SDI it down to grab ledge before they land. Or SDI in some direction to create a different mix-up. That's true, yeah. That's SDIing when losing armor is something which we should do a lot more of. Rather than just lose armor and then air dodge, and it'll be covered, and then people will say, oh, that's the only thing Yoshi can do in that situation. Oh, bad character, terrible recovery. Well, I haven't proven them wrong yet on that account, since we don't use the SDI. Okay, what else was there? 6:15, just a small thing here. aMSa gets sent out off stage, he goes up high, and here he air dodges, but the animation is actually really hard to notice. So he's then able to make it more ambiguous as to how he lands. You can't believe I have all these numbers in my head. I don't have that many numbers in my head. I think a Yoshi player would do well to learn them, and a top player of any character would do well to learn the tumble percent and the armor beating armor percent and the sending into tumble through armor percent for Yoshi, on top of, you know, ASDI down and CC. But I'm not a full-time melee top player, so what do I know? Yeah, the camera here helped a bit, I think. Just worth mentioning. Let's see. Oh, another interesting thing to mention is here. I think aMSa went for parry out of this roll, so that was another attempt. Except he did go for parry, but you just sort of feel when it's going to break or not. Yeah, so do the opponents, but knowing the exact percent means you know what kind of SDI you might want, if you can counter hit straight away, because Yoshi can counter hit when he receives no knockback. Or if you're going to be sent into tumble, or if you need an immediate option, or if you're going to die regardless of what you do and you should just try and trade damage, that kind of stuff. So yeah, sort of feeling it. I mean, it's already pretty good. It's nice to know that you can't always see the numbers and know how stale the move is or whatever, but if you're top player, you should go for more than that, I think. Anyway, Yoshi rolls, goes for parry, but gets hit on the power shield hit part of the... he gets the power shield instead of the parry. That happens if you hit the actual egg part of the shield, which isn't visible at the start. I think his shield releases... no? No, it doesn't, sorry. Rolls again. So another option select that is worth talking about. I think I mentioned that one in the doc as well. It's a very, very hard one to do, I think, though, because it requires really weird muscle memory. So what you do is... and it works only on long parries, not immediate jump out of parry. So you parry with hard shield because you don't want ADT. So most of us have trigger tricks, right? But then around the frame where you jump, or right before perhaps, or maybe at the same time, I'm not sure. I'm getting confused, sorry. Yeah, sorry, no. You parry, and then you jump on the latest frame, right? But if you get hit beforehand, but on the power shield bit of the... on the power shield... no, on the shield side it becomes a power shield, more accurately rather. Instead of getting hit on Yoshi's body, where you get a parry, on the frame right beforehand, instead of doing the hard parry, you switch to light shield. So you have to use the other trigger, basically. And I believe that enables you to light shield away when you get the power shield, whereas you will jump out if you get the hard shield. And then you can immediately release light shield to enter shield release, to minimize the frame disadvantage. I'm not sure about that one. It's... yeah. Also, no one's ever talked about, I think. Or only briefly. But it's a really hard one to use, I think, if it even is possible. And then another... I think it could be an option select here. I'm not sure. I need to look at it frame by frame. But the power shields can be annoying though, so... I mean, it's not always something we want. So it would be nice to know how to take it into account. Like, if you get the parry and counter hit, or if you power shield, what to do. Okay, so one of the last things I wanted to mention is... if you're against an opponent who's in the air, or even on the ground, you might get hit by different moves, and you might not know which one you're getting hit with. So the timing for hitlag to input the double jump cancel aerial is actually, depending on the character, it can be really awkward to think of. Like, if a Peach does a forward air instead of a late nair or something, and you account for the soft nair, but hit hard nair, get hit by the fair, you will have cancelled armor too early, and you won't have a jump. If your nair doesn't have time to come out, you won't even trade. But there are ways to partially mitigate that, or reduce the likelihood of that happening. And you can do that by mashing A and Z during hitlag. The same way Wizzy mashes the grab buttons in shield or when A is dying down. I don't recommend this in every situation, but against some characters, like maybe Luigi or something, or some specific timing mix-ups, perhaps late aerials, or aerials that drop through platforms, since there are fewer timing mix-ups there. I think you can mash A and Z, and you will be able to tank after hitlag. Input the aerial as soon as possible after hitlag. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that as well. Just something to bear in mind, and something that can be interesting to know as an opponent, because it's also something you can exploit against Yoshi. The variable hitlag and the timing mix-ups. It's something people don't really need much against other characters, or not as much. So it's worth thinking about. Okay, I've got a couple of last things. I mentioned extending ledge dash with parry. I think it happens another time. Somewhere around here, maybe? End of game 3. That was also a butt clencher. Boom. Ledge dash into parry. Wow. Looks like he said something. I hadn't realised. Anyway, yeah, ledge dash into parry. Extend the ledge intangibility with invincibility from the parry. I don't know what Wizzy said there. Okay, and then last thing, I think I'd mentioned it during the analysis. Yeah, I did. This thing. Egg toss on this stage against high characters, or I think most characters, since the explosion hitbox is very big. Shield stun. And Yoshi's actionable here. So he doesn't shield stab. I'm surprised he doesn't. I think Wizzy might have angled shield a bit. Yeah, because the hitbox is here. Hits a shield first, not the back part of Falcon's head. But yeah, the egg landed on the platform and hit Falcon. Generally, shield pressure with eggs there's a huge amount of lag at the end, so unless the egg bounces on shield, in which case it might inflict shield stun multiple times on the opponent. Or if it's not edge cancelled, and if it doesn't bounce on shield, it will almost always be unsafe. Except if it's an egg tossed high and that it takes time to come down. But here Yoshi is actionable before, as Falcon is in shield stun. So, a good thing to bear in mind. Yeah. Okay, I think I've said most of what I wanted to say. I wanted to talk about Yoshi the way aMSa throws Yoshi in with Nair, and some neutral stuff, like there's a couple of call-outs, and yeah, just mostly his use of Nair, and maybe a couple more cross-ups. But I think I'll stop here. So yeah, this was a condensed summary of my analysis from last week, and yeah, I talked mostly about the unintuitive stuff, the kind of Yoshi privilege stuff that's underdeveloped and that people tend to not to know exists, and the misinformation that people, just oh, what does Yoshi do against Nair? No, ASDI down until 27%. Oof, that looks so rough for him. Well, if you think of Yoshi as the way you would with other characters, it looks tough on paper. It looks horrible on paper. In practice, he has very unique tools to deal with anything Falcon chucks at him. And yeah, as a summary, I'd say that aMSa's edge guarding wasn't great in this set, to put it a little mildly, and Wizzrobe could have done some high up Bs on recovery. I think that might have been harder for aMSa to deal with, to cover. And I think his grab heavy game wasn't ideal at lower percent. And you don't see S to J grab anywhere near as much. Now, I think aMSa's also improved in this matchup recently, and that he still has a way to go. So yeah, that's the end of this condensed analysis. I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun talking about that stuff, and unlike my previous analysis, there's much less stammering and wondering about what's going on, and a lot more information per minute of viewership. So yeah, okay, I'll cut the stream. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy it. Spread it to your Yoshi mains, your local Yoshi mains, so that they may learn about some of this stuff if they don't know it already. Okay. Bye, folks.